In the early 19th century, hospitals were places of dread. The air smelled of carbolic and decay, and no one understood why wounds festered or why mothers died in childbirth. Physicians moved from autopsies to the delivery room without washing their hands, and yet no one questioned it. Disease was still a ghost, punishment, miasma, or fate. Then came a quiet revolution, carried not by armies, but by glass and flame. Louis Pasteur, a chemist obsessed with fermentation, stared into flasks of cloudy broth and asked a heretical question. What if life does not rise from rot, but from life itself? His swan neck flask experiments, elegant curves of glass that allowed air but trapped dust, showed that no microbes appeared unless life had been introduced. With that, centuries of superstition collapsed. Pasteur's curiosity turned wine into a laboratory, and decay into a clue. The same invisible agents that spoiled milk could also make it safe. The same organisms that soured wine might also cause disease. Across the border in Germany, a country doctor named Robert Koch was watching. In his small clinic, he took blood from dying cattle stricken with anthrax and made a simple leap of logic. If Pasteur was right, the disease itself must have a living cause. Koch peered through his microscope and saw tiny rods, motionless, repeating, deadly. He grew them, transferred them, and watched the same symptoms unfold in healthy animals. Then he did it again and again until there was no doubt. From his persistence were born the rules that defined infection, the famous Koch's postulates, and the birth of medical microbiology. Science, at last, had a villain it could name. Soon, cholera's curved cells appeared beneath glass slides, and the mystery of tuberculosis gained a face. Surgeons sterilized their instruments. Doctors boiled bandages. Semmelweis's plea for hand-washing, once mocked, now became law. Hospitals that once echoed with screams began to quiet, and for the first time, medicine turned the tide. The enemy was not wrath or curse. It was life itself in miniature. But the story did not end with conquest. Pasteur's vaccines against anthrax and rabies proved that microbes could also save, not only kill. A century later, Alexander Fleming would find penicillin blooming like blue mold on a forgotten dish. Another accident of attention that changed the world. What began as a war slowly transformed into a dialogue. Microbes were no longer demons to exercise, but teachers to study, each revealing a new secret of chemistry, genetics, or immunity. By the mid-20th century, medical microbiology had become the language of modern medicine. Under electron microscopes, viruses appeared like alien sculptures. Under sequencing machines, bacteria became codes to be read. We learned to trace infection with precision, to design antibiotics and vaccines, to map pandemics across continents. Yet the deeper we looked, the more we realized that these invisible beings were never outsiders. They were our oldest companions, woven into our cells, our guts, even our DNA. The discipline born from fear had turned into one of humility. Medical microbiology taught humanity not only how to fight disease, but how to understand its own fragility. Every cure began as a confession that to survive, we must learn from what once terrified us.